Hey guys, Jared James here, and I want to talk to you today about something that I think is important to everybody listening, and that is your time, right? I mean, think about it. President of the United States, me, you, NFL football player, guy who picks up my trash every week, whoever it is, we all have one thing in common. And that one thing is that we all have 1,440 minutes in every single day. The other thing that we have in common is that all of us think that it's not enough, right? It's like no matter, it's kind of like money, right? Have you ever noticed some people, whether they make 30,000, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, every layer, every level, all along the way, they're always broke. And the issue is not their money, it's their management of their money, it's their lifestyle, it's whatever it happens to be. And it's the same thing when you're talking about time. The issue is not the time, it's our management of that. But having said that, you know, we hear all the time about time management. I want to get better at managing time, and I want to. Guys, there's no such thing as time management, okay? I said this at an event I was at the other day. You know, look at how many seconds are in a minute, 60 seconds in a minute. So I need to manage it better. So start managing that time. Now check how many seconds are in a minute 12 months from now. Still 60 seconds. So I guess you didn't manage it well enough. So let's manage it a little bit better and check again in 12 months. You guys see where I'm going? Time is not what needs managing. We are. Our addiction to making everybody happy, our addiction to everybody's approval, our addiction to all of these kinds of things is what's ultimately, our addiction to fake beliefs, fake, you know, things we think are true that aren't true, that we have to be crazy all the time to be important, that we have to be crazy all the time so we're not late. These kinds of things are ultimately what is stealing our time and really stealing our joy, stealing our peace, stealing all of these kinds of things, okay? So I want to talk to you about 3 things that really belong on your calendar, because the issue is that most of us have things on our calendar that don't belong there. We have packed schedules, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're productive. Again, I said at another event I was at recently, it's like just because you have a plate full of steak doesn't mean you have a full meal. If half that steak that's covering the whole plate is made up of fat, you don't have a full meal, okay? What you have is a fat-ridden steak that's taking up a whole plate. And that is the story of what a lot of our days are. Yes, we have packed schedules, but we have a whole lot of fat in that schedule because we have learned to believe that there are certain things we're supposed to be doing that we're not supposed to be doing. So I'm going to give you 3 easy rules, 3 things that most likely belong on your schedule, and then there's kind of a gray area, and then there's a lot of things that just don't belong there. So I'm going to give you 3 things that you want to look at and say, okay, these are things that belong there. Everything else I'm going to start to cut out. I'm going to start being okay with making this person unhappy because I'm not doing this for them all the time. Remember, I always say we train people how to treat us, okay? So if someone's abusing you in your time, it's because you've made them feel that that's okay, that you allow that. No matter how frustrated you got, you allowed them to believe that. So the 3 things that really belong on our calendar are this. Does this activity bring joy or does it satisfy your role to others, okay? So what is your role to others? Well, if it's just some, you know, whoever it may be, then you probably don't have that much of a role. You don't need to be doing everything. But my role to others means like, okay, I'm bringing my son later to baseball practice. That is my role as his father, is to bring him to stuff like that. And by the way, I still get joy in it. There are things that we also do with others, whether it's a spouse, whether it's friends, whether it's family, whatever it may be, that simply brings joy to our life. Those things belong on our schedule. The second thing, the second qualifier as far as whether something belongs on your schedule or not, is whether it brings joy or satisfies your responsibility to who? Yourself. There are words in our society that are kind of like double-edged swords. They've been absolutely demonized, and yet they shouldn't be. And one of those words is the word selfish, right? Generally speaking, if you call someone selfish, it's not the greatest thing in the world. Like, this isn't a time when they've just done something great and you're trying to compliment them. Oh, you're so selfish. No, it's usually when you're in a fight with your spouse or your kid isn't happy about something you're doing. Something good is not happening when someone calls you selfish, and yet in order for us to have any kind of peace, in order for us to have any kind of value to anybody else, we ultimately do have to take care of ourselves first. Otherwise, we have nothing to give. Think of it in a more monetary format, okay? If you came to me and you said, hey man, I'm hurting real bad right now, I need this much money to take care of this, otherwise my family's going to get evicted, okay? If I am not in a good financial place, I can't even make the decision to help you. It's not even an option. It's not even on the table because I haven't taken care of my finances, right? And so that's something we understand. That's physical, that's tangible, that's whatever it happens to be, right? But when it comes to our time, Why do you think it is that you would be able to give to someone else or to help someone else or to be there for someone else when you're not even at this moment being there for yourself? See? It makes sense when you kind of talk about it in that way. So, 2 things that belong in your schedule: if it brings joy or satisfies your role to others, your role, not what you think your responsibility is, but your actual role. Your role as a father, your role as a mother, your role as a girlfriend, your role as a wife, your role as there are roles and there's things you do within those roles. Or it brings joy or satisfies your responsibility to yourself. The third reason that something belongs on your schedule, and this is more business oriented, is if it directly or indirectly generates income to your business. If something does not directly or indirectly actually bring income to your business, then you're just wasting time. That's really what's happening, okay? It's either things that you could be delegating off to someone else. There's many different things that could be happening. But unless it's indirectly or directly actually bringing income to your business, probably doesn't belong on your calendar. I want everybody watching this to actually go look at your calendar over the last month, the last week, the last 2 weeks, the last 3 weeks. How many things do you have on there that simply don't belong on there? How many things going forward would you have scheduled if you didn't listen to this and actually take it serious? You know, I have this... I really do believe that as a society, we have bought into this whole notion that you are not supposed to have free time. That you are supposed to be crazy at every moment, filling every hour, every minute with something you're doing, otherwise you're lazy, right? And that kind of mentality has actually taken away from the productivity in your life, from the rest in your life that you need, from the peace in your life that you need, because we're buying into that kind of mentality. You know, I said again at another event I was at recently, I said some people are waking up in the morning and they're literally laying there in bed. It's their most peaceful moment of the day. And they're negotiating with themselves and they're having thoughts like this and they're saying to themselves, what has to happen today for me to get back to this position back in my bed? Because all I want to do is be in this bed. This is when I'm most at peace. This is when nobody's... How do I get back here? Now, some of you are listening to that and you're kind of laughing and you're going, oh my God, that's me and whatever. And so I'm not right in front of you so I can say this. That's kind of sad. That doesn't speak to the type of life that you should want to be living, the type of business you should be trying. You want to be waking up in the morning and going, I have passion for what I do. You know, I get into my office early every single day because I can't wait to get here. You know, I'm just like, I want to go create, I want to go do this, I want to whatever. I'm not laying in bed going, oh God, here we go. Another day closer to death, finally. You know, like that kind of nonsense thinking. If you aren't passionate about what you're doing every day, it's probably because you're allowing things outside of these top 3 things we've mentioned to dominate your schedule. You are in essence becoming a slave to other people because of the addictions that you have to their approval. And that has got to stop. Okay? I hope this helps you guys. As I say all the time, I hope we're connected. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, YouTube, wherever it happens to be, guys. If you have questions about this, feel free to send them to me. Feel free to share this with someone that you know needs to see this. I hope I see you guys at the 2015 Advance in Vegas. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great one.